science fair experiment, I chose the Cartesian Diver. Many scientists believe that René Descartes made the prototype of the diving bell, which uses the same scientific concept as this. The way this works is that I have a glass eyedropper that is filled with enough water to make it float upright. There is a downward force, gravity, and an upward force, buoyancy. When I squeeze the bottle, the air molecules inside the diver compress and it sinks. When I let go, it floats. This demonstrates the principle of buoyancy, Archimedes' principle, and the ideal gas law. This all works with all kinds of styles of divers. This one is a Sharpie cap with a hex nut inside it and a little bit of water. This one is a ketchup packet. And this one is a straw cut up with a little bit of tape and a hex nut and a little bit of water inside it. This last one I made is a game. You take a plastic eyedropper and screw a hex nut onto it and then cut off the excess eyedropper. You take a thin, flexible piece of wire and wrap it around above the hex nut and make a little hook. Then you fill it with a little bit of water. Then you do the same thing, except this time with the wire you make a hook and you fill it with enough water to make it sink. Then you fill the water bottle up with water and put the one with the loop in first and then the other one. And then fill it all the way up and seal it off. Then you can try to catch the sunken treasure with the hook diver. Like that. I also tested the Cartesian Diver with different variables: hot water, cold water, salt water, and vinegar. For my hypothesis for the hot and cold water was that there wasn't going to be any difference, even though heat rises. I thought this because it was going to be faucet water. The first diver was pretty slow going down with the hot water, but that was before I found out you needed the water to be filled all the way to the top. When I added more water to the dropper as well, it went down fast but up slowly. With the cold water, it just wouldn't work without the right amount of water. I would squeeze it and it would sink but stay up the bottom, but with just the right amount, it would work just fine. For the salt water, my hypothesis was that it was going to be very hard to sink, almost impossible. I came up with this because the Dead Sea is so salty that people float on the surface just fine. The Cartesian and the salt water would work when I tested it, but it would be like something sinking in molasses. And when I let go, it shot right up. For the vinegar, my hypothesis was that it would shoot right down but come right up. I thought this because at the moment I thought that vinegar is less dense than water, but vinegar is actually more dense than water. Cartesian and Diver in the vinegar would actually be slow to go down but shoot right up. There are many ways to make Cartesian divers. There are lots of ways online, but it is very easy to make your own.